Welcome back, NYC Fragrance family. Today I have a fragrance that I have been waiting for and waiting for and waiting for. And that fragrance is Naughton and Wilson's Gravitas Homme. Now, if you know the channel and you know my style, you know I'm all about the aromatic fougères. I love these classy fragrances. I can't have enough in my collection. So when I heard Mr. Smelly, who is one of my favorite YouTubers, and a lot of the things that he reviews, I gravitate towards, I jumped right on it. Sorry for the other YouTubers that may feel offended that I felt this way about the fragrance, but it's my style. It is what it is. Anyway, it was launched back in February, and it finally made its way to the US, and I'm happy that I finally got it. This fragrance, when I first smelled it, I got a very oak mossy feeling, you know, that kind of Bois Portugal type vibe or Invasion Barberie MDCI vibe when I first smelled it. But let me tell you something, the dry down is where the magic is with this fragrance for me. It was made by perfumer John Stephen. It's selling for 90 pounds. Which translates to about 111 US dollars. It's an extrait de parfum, so long lasting. The presentation, I think, is clean and respectable. I love the metal plaque on the front. I like the cap with the N&W logo on it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very, very nicely done. It's not a lock-in cap, but it does get snugly in there. This fragrance, man, listen, let me spray it again on the card to refresh my memory. It's got a beautiful pressurized atomizer as well. Oh, man. You know, I know I sound like I'm gushing, but this is a fragrance that's going to get a lot of wears, and I'm probably going to have to buy another bottle. I could see it happening already. Top notes on this fragrance: bergamot, mandarin, and lavender. In the mid, you got coriander, cardamom, and pepper. And in the base, you got patchouli, oak moss, ambergris, and vanilla. Like I said, in that dry down, when you get that beautiful patchouli, the ambergris, and the vanilla, along with that mossy note, this fragrance shines. This is where I feel it's at its best. You know, there's a lot of talk about YouTubers coming out with their fragrances, and some people commenting they're tired of hearing of a YouTuber come out with fragrances. But I'm sorry, I'm on the other end of that. I want to see more YouTubers come out with fragrances. And the reason why is this. The people that do fragrance reviews, like myself, and YouTubers, or Instagrammers, are all passionate about fragrances. We know what we want in a fragrance. We know what we want to smell. We can consult with a perfumer. We can consult with a creative director, and we can come up with something that may be something that you may not have smelled, or something that's totally different. Now, as far as saying that this is totally different than anything I've smelled, I won't say it's like so super different, but what it is to me is a fragrance that speaks to me. It's a very good modern take on a classic style fougère. Now, I love classic style fougères, so for me, this is a fragrance that will be worn and used, and I could see myself, you know, right now I got the t-shirt with the logo on it, but I could see myself dressed up with the sports jacket and a nice shirt, ready to go out on the town wearing this out one night, because it's that kind of a fragrance. I just think that it deserves that kind of use, and that's what I think it's mostly for. When you're out to look like a gentleman, you're out dressed like a gentleman, you want to feel like a gentleman, this is the fragrance that you would put on. You know, there's a lot of fragrances out there that could do that for you, but you know what? I'm happy that this one is out. The price point that it comes in at, an extrait de parfum, you're getting a great fragrance. There's no doubt in my mind. You know, there's a lot of YouTubers, like I said, that have had fragrance lines. You have Jeremy, who came out with Fragrance One. You have Peter from Fragrance View that came out with Centauri. You have Steven from Redolescence with Naughton Parfums. And I haven't gotten to smell Centauri yet, but I'm going to sample those as well and get my nose on them and see how I feel about them. I know he has 3 fragrances, and I'm hearing they're pretty good too. You know, I don't think I've heard anything about any of the YouTuber fragrances that would make me think they don't smell good. You know, there's comments about the presentations, there's comments about the bottles, there's comments about this and that. But when it comes down to it, the fragrance themselves have always been something that nobody is really negative about. I mean, you know, I just did Naughton's Parfums Discovery, and I found them all to be very well done, and I found them all to smell really nice. And Jeremy's fragrances, I own both of them, and they don't disappoint either, and people around me enjoy them. So when people comment that a YouTuber coming out with a fragrance should stop, you know, and then you got the last part of the British invasion, you got Smolder coming out from Chris from Fragmental. I look forward to smelling that one too, because I know Chris has got a mind for fragrances as well, and he's got some ideas, and Aaron's going to put together something nice for him, I'm pretty sure. And I look forward to smelling that one as well. This one here, out of the park, man. Dan did his thing. He got together with John Steven, and he came out with a fragrance that says Mr. Smelly. Plain and simple. If you watch his channel, if you listen to his recommendations, if you follow his lists, if you know the fragrances that he's into, this fragrance is his signature. Plain and simple. And let's call it what it is. This fragrance could be your signature. I think it's that good. You know, now there's people that don't care for the aromatic fougères. If you're not that type, then maybe it's not for you. I happen to be that type, and I'm loving it. I think it's fantastic. You know, anyone out there that loves an aromatic fougère, if you can get a sample, a decan, or something of this fragrance. I know right now they just made their way to the US, so that might be hard to do, but you gotta try it out. That's all I'm gonna say. You gotta try it out. That dry down, let me tell you, when that patchouli and the vanilla kick in, and it dries down, and man, it's just beautiful. I just really enjoy it. I know I'm gushing and I sound like I'm pushing and whatever, but if I feel a certain way about a fragrance, I'm gonna say what I feel, and this is how I feel. I know I'm going on and on and on, but I am kind of jazzed up about it. It just is what it is, and I'm happy to now own it, and I'm happy that it made its way to the U.S. And I hope Dan comes out with another fragrance. I think, you know, he was off to a good start, and I hope this is very successful for him. And I'm probably gonna, like I said, I'm probably gonna get me another bottle just to have another one, because I'd like to have a backup of this, because I could see myself draining this bottle pretty quickly when I start to get around to wearing it more often. So Dan, thank you again. I mean, great job. You and John put together something really special here. And you know, YouTubers, if you got the itch to make a fragrance, and you have the money to do it, and you have the ability to do it, and you have the contacts to do it, don't let it stop you. Go ahead, do it. Don't worry about if somebody else has a fragrance. Don't worry about what people say about the fragrance, or what they say about your bottles, or what they say about your package. It is your passion piece. Go ahead and do it. Because you know what? Doing nothing is nothing. So go out and do. So, NYC Fragrance family, if you're the fougère kind, this is for you. That's all I'm going to say. Till the next time, remember, if you smell good, you feel good. Have a nice day.